waste out of your operation.
Maximizing value.
And reduce our inventory.
Remove what the customer is not willing to pay for.
To increase profitability. System requires active participation.
Find the most efficient and effective way to complete a project.
Lean can be used for all departments.
Lean is a never-ending process.
When you do something for 36 years, one would think he knows what he's doing. Then somebody introduces Lean into the picture, and everything changes.
Bula is a forging, precision machining, and assembly plant. We do a lot of value-added processes. We do alloy, carbon, and stainless steel in 1 to 50-pound range. We do short to medium runs. We serve a variety of industries, from OEMs to mom and pop shops. We're a family-owned business. We've been in business for 34 years and have gone through such things as the recessions, oil embargoes, and steel shortages. We're still here to tell our story. Our vision for the future is to manufacture superior and unique custom products, provide creative solutions for our customers, use futuristic cutting-edge technology, and become nationally recognized. Our mission statement: unique or difficult, we will get it done.
Bula Forge makes a wide variety of custom forged products for a number of different industries. From rough steel forgings to finished machine products, Bula Forge has you covered. Did I mention we do assemblies? Welding and fabrications are also included in our long list of capabilities. Value-added services such as heat treating and protective coatings allows our customers to receive a finished product ready for use in their application.
My initial reaction to Lean is, what is it? A lot of people said, what is that, a diet?
I was introduced to a majority of the Lean ideas many years ago, and I still feel that it is a good tool set to help increase productivity and reduce waste.
Really, I have to admit, I was hesitant and unsure that our type of manufacturer would be able to go lean, and wondered if we were heading for a big downfall.
Initial reaction to Lean was, oh, we're going to try that again. We did some Lean projects in the past, like 5S, but didn't follow through with them.
My initial reaction to Lean was I was excited to begin learning about Lean concepts. Since I'm in sales, anything that would improve delivery and quality of product definitely interested me.
My initial reaction to Lean was that Bula could definitely benefit from it. I also knew that it would take commitment from the upper management down. Luckily, Wayne and Karen are dedicated to Lean and are helping to get everyone else on board.
My initial reaction to Lean was that it makes sense. We have to move our focus from working on urgent items to working on things that will actually improve the business. Lean needs to have our focus and attention.
Initial reaction to Lean concepts was not negative, like it can't be done here, but more of curiosity. How will we apply Lean principles in a shop where the machines are massive and immovable, and how will we approach one-piece flow with setups of 2 hours or more?
The reaction to Lean, which was a few years ago, was that this is crazy. That would never work in our facility. How do you expect a job shop to be successful doing these practices? Of course, now my opinion on Lean has changed.
Lean is a process using various tools to ferret out waste and remove it from our processes. Remove what the customer is not willing to pay for. Waste exists in administrative areas as well as on the shop floor, and we must work together to bring along both areas.
Lean is a never-ending process of identifying and eliminating waste within our organization. Lean requires us to work as a team to constantly find faster, easier ways to produce a consistent quality product.
Lean is a method of getting waste out of your operation. It strives for only value-added processes. It helps the employees to use continuous improvement Kaizen throughout the whole facility. Lean will make my job easier, at the same time more challenging. What I mean is, instead of putting out fires all day, I can be solving problems and coming up with better ways to do things.
The tool set used to find the most efficient and effective way to complete a project or a group of projects. The engineering department Lean principles allow us to quickly and accurately create and revise our innovative designs through a series of standardized processes.
Lean manufacturing is maximizing value and minimizing waste in the manufacturing process.
Lean will help us provide what our customers want when they want them, making them more competitive. It will help us find the flexibility to build to their demand rather than to our own production requirements. And it will help us shorten up our lead times and reduce our inventory, making us more competitive.
When most people hear lean, they think manufacturing, but lean can be used through all departments. In the purchasing department, lean is used to streamline processes, eliminate unnecessary orders, and keep inventory levels down.
Term referring to manufacturing methodologies based on maximizing value and minimizing waste in the manufacturing process.
Continuous process of eliminating waste and helps to ensure that a quality product is processed at all times. Lean is a process that requires active participation, starting from top management to all shop employees in identifying and eliminating waste throughout the company on a continuous basis.
My name is Professor Irani. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Industrial Welding and Systems Engineering at Ohio State University. And I've been asked to give a general opinion of what I think of lean manufacturing and some of the work that I have done with our students on this new flavor of lean called Job Shop Lean. So to begin with the question, what is lean? I may as well use the definition or terms that Jim Womack, the godfather of lean thinking, has coined, which approximately is basically that lean is about reducing the total customer wait time for any order. And the customer wait time usually consists of the administrative lead time, which is pre-production, the actual production lead time, and then of course the distribution lead time. But typically customer wait time is that portion in the office and then that portion of time or lead time in manufacturing. And essentially the way I've understood lean, according to their definition, is that if you eliminate the 7 types of wastes, overproduction, scrap, rework, queuing, transportation, etc., effectively what you're doing is you're cutting the delay times in the lead timeline, and by eliminating waste, because that is not something which the customer is paying you for, you essentially are cutting down the cost of production to you, and therefore your profit margin goes up. As an industrial engineer, I feel that lean thinking is simply giving me a new framework in which to teach, in which to practice my research, and to interact with industry.
How did Bula get involved with lean? We had been hearing of lean, obviously, for many, many years, but it was always in the high volume, low mix arena, and difficult for us to see how we could fit that into our plant. Then 3 to 4 years ago, I was given a book on lean manufacturing for the small shop, and about the same time, the FIA was putting on a lean seminar in Chicago. Having read the book and attended the seminar, we began seeing areas where we could implement lean into our process and bring it into our plant. We started with some 5S initiatives and also just introducing it to our workforce.
Over several years, we made many attempts to put a lean program together, but we just didn't know how to begin, and every effort failed. Initially, I was skeptical about having an intern teach us how to run things. However, I was also aware that we weren't very successful at doing it ourselves. Since we already had an established group of managers and key employees meeting on a regular basis, we decided to use this group as the foundation for our lean training.
How can the Job Shop Lean internship program help industry? Very simply, I have created a map of options. We're a university. We teach undergraduates and graduate students. We research to extend the state of the art, and we support a variety of co-curricular and extracurricular programs. One program that I have developed, with which I've had a lot of success, thanks to funding from the Defense Logistics Agency and the support of Advanced Technology Institute. Their grant, which began in 2001, essentially helped me to develop this program. It's a faculty mentor internship program. So essentially what we do is Most internships run for 3 months full-time. They involve 1 or 2 undergraduate, graduate students off-site at the client. They've essentially gone through all my courses, being taught the FAST software, Job Shop Lean, other courses that essentially constitute the preparation for these internships. We write up a small statement of work, the client signs off on it, and then essentially they recruit the interns, and thereafter these interns essentially partner with the client team and myself acting in a mentoring mode. They send me weekly progress reports, and we essentially achieve the statement of work. So that is just one option. I mean, if you look at the capstone course options, you look at the thesis option, course projects, monthly seminars, workshops, conferences, there's a whole map of opportunities, both co-curricular and extracurricular. And if you had the time and the patience, I could share with you exactly how, once you began with the question, help me to implement Job Shop Lean, I could lead you through multiple option pathways. All of them essentially would leverage correctly the various co-curricular and extracurricular programs that we have in a good industrial engineering program like the one we have at Ohio State.
It's my pleasure to work on the organizational development project Bula Forge. This Job Shop Lean initiative uses Quick Start approach to JS Lean developed by Dr. Irani as a foundation of the analysis. We collected the data including revenue, quantity of sales, and the routings of all the parts. The software, FAST, was used to create part families. Then, based on the results of PQS analysis and PQT analysis, we identified that the part 6503 and 6504 have very high contributions to the company. So we select 6503 and 6504 as the focus of our Lean project.
6503 and 6504 are clevises that are similar in configuration. They are two components of the tow bar assembly supplied to the military used to recover disabled military vehicles. They are one of our constantly produced products with identical process routings, which made them ideal candidates for our Lean project.
My name is Wayne Phelps Jr. I'm the Forge Shop Manager here at Bula Forge and Machine. I'm here to introduce 6503 and 4, saw, forge, normalize, and delivery. Saw, it's where we take a long piece of bar stock and cut billets to a specified length or a specified weight. Each step is specific, whether it will be length or weight. The clevises go by weight. The purpose for this operation is to use the least amount of raw material and still completely fill the part. Also, the weights have to be consistent or you will get a larger variation in part thickness. Forge. The clevises are forged on a 2,500 ton press. The billets get pushed through a furnace and get heated up to 2,200 degrees. The forge press operator takes the billet and hits it in 3 different impressions. The first impression is the buster die. The billet is stood up on end and the dies are flat and set to a specified length. The dies break the scale off the billet and gives the length we need for the second impression. The second impression is the blocker die. You lay the billet down into an impression that roughly gives you the configuration of the part. The third impression is the finisher die. Take the block part and place it into the finisher. This impression does exactly what it says. It gives you all the finished dimensions of the part. After the forge, it goes to the trim die. You place the finished part into the trim die and the trim punch pushes the part through the trimmer, which takes the excess material that is on the outside of the part and literally trims it off. The purpose of this operation is to transform round steel billets into a sellable part. Normalize. We take the part and put them into a furnace that heats them up to 1,650 degrees. Then once they get up to temp, it has to be maintained for 1 full hour. After the part gets placed in the holding cell, which allows them to slowly cool down, the purpose of this operation is to refine the grain structure, which takes the stress areas out of the part. It also makes the part softer for easier machinability. Wheel grade. You take the part and put them into a machine that pours shot onto them. The purpose of this operation is to clean the scale up that is on the part from the previous operations.
We take a forge blank, it's a custom specification. There's 4 stations. We do it in a horizontal on a tombstone. There's 4 stations. The first station we mill aside, the second station we mill aside. Third station we drill a hole in the nose hole. And then the fourth station we cut the slot, we step in the ear and drill holes. And we get 2 finished pieces and then heat treat. A combination of heating and cooling operation applied to a metal or alloy in a solid state to obtain desired conditions or properties. Mag particle inspection, detection of surface and near surface flaws in ferromagnetic materials. Ultrasonic testing, testing using ultrasound and scanning of surfaces with high frequency sound waves in order to gauge their integrity and check for flaws or measure thickness of parts. We use it to check for the flaws. We do not use it to check the thicknesses of the parts. The next step we do is grind, gauge, and pack. What we do, because we wheel abrade them after heat treat and all the testing operations, the parts get nicked on the outside. So we go around the part and grind the nicks out, and then we gauge the holes to make sure the holes are still the proper size and put them in a box. Then they go up to shipping, and then they get weighed in. The box gets banded, and out the door they go.
Making some improvement during a short period of time might not be so difficult. However, sustaining the momentum is always a different story. That's why we organize a lean manufacturing discussion group to create a sustainable lean culture and implement cascade training starting from the top management. The team received trainings, studied the value stream of 6503 and 6504, and practiced several problem-solving techniques. For example, we use the flow diagram to show how those parts flow through the facility and identify backchecks and crossflows. We use the flow process chart to break down the production process into small elements and record the detailed information, especially the information of non-value-added activities. Also, the value stream map visualizes the material information flow for part family and serve as a tool for communication. The members of the group were required to study the side readings including the goal, lean thinking, and the Toyota way. We have lectures and open discussions during the meetings. Then we work on individual or group projects as assignments and present the results during the next meeting.
Something I've learned from this training is that there are a lot of different parts to lean, and they all have to work together to make it work.
The most important thing I learned from this experience is how to identify waste. A lot of things we have routinely done in the past now have me asking, is there a better way?
Get your employees involved. It will never work if I try to do it all myself.
It is possible. You just have to do it. Lean is not one technique, but a philosophy of continual improvement. It requires courage to try something new and commitment to stick with it when things go wrong.
With the training and education we receive showing how waste can be eliminated through careful thought process and teamwork, we can make our organization a lean company. And I'm anxious to move on to other company processes to see what waste can be eliminated from them.
The most important thing that I've learned from Lean is that we are not Toyota. Toyota has good practices and ideas. However, we must make Lean adaptable to our business.
As I started reading about Lean, the way Toyota has mastered it and the way most experts today are talking about it, it hit me that really not much from an assembly line strategy really belongs in a job shop, which is, low volume, high variety, large customer base, unstable schedules. I could read through a long list of reasons why the job shop is different from the Toyota Production System assembly factory. So fundamentally put, job shop lean basically says, what is it about the Toyota Production System, the best practices that we can use as is? Quality, maintenance, morale, documentation, design automation. You can use these as is. You don't have to be a Toyota. But then comes to things like layout, things such as job sequencing, things such as scheduling. That's where the variety monster rears its ugly head. And so job shopping basically says, use whatever you can from the Toyota Production System, but when you find that the problems you have cannot be solved or addressed using the methods of the Toyota Production System, hey, open your mind, look around. There is so much other knowledge out there that is not being talked about in the popular media. All of those methods, variety reduction, water striders, finite capacity scheduling, hybrid cellular layouts. There's one slide which has about 25 such best practices that today we could implement. Hey, this is the 21st century, not the 20th century.
From my perspective, the key improvement I see is that we're beginning to have the ability to look at ourselves with a critical eye and not fear changing the things we're comfortable with. Each department has begun to understand their contribution in the total process.
The biggest improvement I have implemented is the production chalkboards. This allows everyone to know where they stand and what is expected out of them. These boards are very important to me. Thinking about it, you can say that any visual control is very high on my priority list.
We are a lot more aware of improvements that can be made. In the office, we are working on reducing the amount of paperwork and improving the way it gets processed. We are working with managers on the shop floor to standardize the tooling they use and constantly purchase supplies on a Kanban system. I place a high value on all the improvements we are making. Currently, I feel the most important immediate improvement is to reduce the material handling done by employees on the shop floor.
One of the improvements I'm aware of in our lean process is that we improved the way we collect scrap data. We did not say, this is the lean project that we're going to do. It was recognition by one of our administrative staff that the process that we were doing was very inefficient. And then they took it upon themselves to start doing something about it. Although there is savings from the improvement, I think the real value is the education and insight those working on the project received. It is nearly completed, and the individuals involved were asked to detail the project in terms of lean. I think they were amazed at the savings.
There have been a number of significant improvements through the shop. The upgrade of the trim press at Maxi 4, the introduction of the quick change system, employee training, and the personnel and the quality department, and the overall communication within the plant, just to name a few of the improvements.
One of the improvements I made was I set up maintenance carts for electrical and pipe work. Most of the supplies needed for a job are stored on the carts. It cuts down on a lot of lost time going to the tool crib to get parts.
A big improvement I'm counting on is the production of only a 1 month's supply of parts for our assemblies. If it works, it will be a huge time saver for me in terms of tracking inventory and simplifying scheduling. I will always know the timing and quantity of the next batch of components.
We made was in the quality department. We took an unorganized cabinet of gauges and organized it so we don't waste valuable time looking for them. The cost of this improvement was minimal, as was the time needed to implement it, but the savings and lost time and productivity are huge. Another improvement we made was in the shipping department. We reorganized the shipping department to allow for boxes to be made at about half their original time. This project only took a few hours to complete, but will save us hundreds of hours per year. The improvement that I had the most involvement in was streamlining our process of collecting scrap data. I observed the quality department recording the data and realized they were spending way too much time to enter data in several different places. I designed an access database for QA to enter the data in. This system not only helps the QA department, but it speeds up the work order closing process for the accounting department.
Improvement is in the quality department. They put all the gauges in totes by part number. It used to take a long time to gather gauges in the condition they were in, and now all the gauges are organized, so it is easier and faster to find them.
In order to survive in today's marketplace, we need to find ways to work smarter, not harder. Lean methods offer opportunities for tremendous gains at minimal costs.
Very easy to fall into the trap of saying, we can't do this here, it doesn't fit us. We have to wear away that resistance to change. The other challenge I see is keeping a sustained focus on lean.
The biggest one I would have to say is reduction of lot sizes. We do not currently have quick change tooling, so the justification of cutting the lot sizes down isn't there. The setup times take too long for just a couple of pieces ran.
Reducing lead times on forging jobs will be an ongoing process and will control our journey to one-piece flow. We used to move mountains of parts slowly from step to step. Now as we become more lean, things are starting to move faster and problems with some of our processes are being revealed. I see these as opportunities to improve, not barriers.
We are also looking at the floor layout to see where we can improve. We know we're not able to move some of our big equipment or dedicate a specific piece of equipment to a job. We are working on identifying product families to help level our workload.
With a method of quick change tooling, continue with 5S projects, promote Kaizen events, come up with a method where the shop floor runs the show, which would allow very little supervision to be in place. The list can go on and on.
Future improvements will be in the implementation of quick change into the tool and die
Moving
areas.
the accounting area into supporting lean through the financial reporting. Lean accounting, basically.
Other improvements I'd like to see in the future are equipment improvements.
I would like to see getting the assembly of our parts into a cell. This process currently is completed productively, but I think that with lean thinking, we will be able to eliminate a lot of the wasted time with this assembly process.
An improvement I am anxious to start involves a customer that orders 4 parts from us on a Kanban system. I would like to get to the point that when they pull a box from the shelf, we will begin making another box of parts. We would be producing to their actual demand, not to their forecast or to our production needs. Currently, setting up to run a small number of each of their 4 parts weekly is a challenge we are working on but haven't solved. Reducing our batch sizes to 1 Kanban quantity at a time will go a long way towards leveling the schedule.
My future plans for improvement are to set up more items on Kanban and to work closer with my suppliers to make sure that we don't have any material shortages.
Other improvements I would like to work on in the future are in the machine shop. 5S and quick change are the first 2 projects we are working on. Now that I have a better understanding of lean, I can see how these projects can add value in the future.
Was this process worthwhile? Definitely. Our managers are good at their job. However, their exposure to lean has been limited. The Job Shop Lean training has brought a more intense and focused awareness to lean. It will make our job as leaders easier as we push forward with lean initiatives.
I definitely feel this has been a worthwhile process. I think our managers have learned a lot and work well as a team. I believe all our employees will be able to embrace the power and rewards of a lean enterprise.
This was very worthwhile. It taught me more about lean tools and practices. The biggest one would be how to value stream a product. That's just one of the many things I have learned.
The process has created a sense of innovation and open dialogue about improvements with suggestions and ideas from all the stakeholders in every department.
And yes, lean training was a worthwhile process.
Is lean worthwhile? I believe it is critical for our survival. Manufacturing organizations are linked together in a gigantic web. If our customers don't survive, neither will we. We must help our customers to be as strong and competitive as possible, and we can only do this if we are strong and competitive. Lean can help us do that.
I felt this was and will continue to be a very worthwhile process. Just in the short time we've been working on this, I noticed that we all look closer at how we do things to see if we can improve our processes. I look forward to educating the shop floor personnel and hope that they can see the benefit.
It was a worthwhile process.
Now that our training program is coming to an end, I feel that we as a team organization are all anxious to go out to our departments and share our training with the shop employees and have them get fully involved by encouraging them to provide their input to make the company become lean.
Thinking about things. Wish I would have thought of it.
There's a lot of things I wish I had thought of in this process. But you know what? At least we're open about it, and the future's opening up for us.
I really enjoy working with all the people here at Bula Forge. I appreciate all your dedications to becoming a lean enterprise and providing better service and products to your customers. Thank you guys. You taught me the meaning of passion. I believe that's why Bula can always smash the competition.
Very pleased with Bryan and his efforts. His leadership and dedication to the project is the reason it's been so successful. In the future, when he comes back to see us, I'm positive he'll wonder if he's in the same place. He's got the ball rolling, and we have a thorough understanding of what we have to do. Accolades to Bryan. Thanks. Has begun to understand their
along on that path. Boy, Adam's going to have to move his truck.
We would be... I can't read it.
That do a little good. Let's try that again.
Do you want me to introduce myself first, or?
Worthwhile process. Is that okay?
Yeah, good.
Forge shop, smashing the competition.
Is that too fast? That's it.
Oh.
I'm done.
Yay.
I'm out of here. I want to see it.